This computer is so slow and I'm not learning anything. Will technology get any better in the future?
Yes, it will.
Who are you?
I am Bendy the robot. Let's see what the future might hold. See those textbooks, pens and notebooks? You won't be needing those in the future. That table won't be around for much longer either. Behold. All the information you could ever want to access will be instantly available to you.
Well, gee, that sounds great. I could even stay in my house and study there.
Your teachers could teach you in virtual lessons, and you could have your own unique learning pod that looked something like this, your very own infosphere.
What happens in an infosphere?
The virtual world is at your fingertips. You can experience what you are learning about.
Can it travel through time?
Not exactly, but you can do virtually anything. Imagine in your geography class experiencing a volcano erupting.
So who would be my teacher?
You wouldn't need one. Many people from all over the world would upload information to their infosphere and learn whenever they want.
But I still get to see my classmates, don't I?
The traditional school would not need to exist. It would be a virtual school. The infosphere gives you everything you need. Everything.
So when do I get to see them face to face?
Why would you want to do that?
Sitting in a virtual world on my own every day sounds pretty boring. The infosphere looks great, but I think I need a place to meet my friends. I've heard that living in the virtual world too much could damage my brain. And I won't know how to interact with new people.
So maybe the school does need to exist, but in a different form.
Yeah, a school for learning life skills and how to socialize. Technology could be really useful for improving education, but there are some skills that can't be learned in an infosphere.
Sounds like a solution. I am off now. Bye, Adam.
Why is the central heating on in the summer?
Quiet down. We just have to make do.
But isn't this a waste of energy?
Yes, but it costs less to keep the heating on permanently rather than switch it on and off again.
What a waste.
Hey man, I'm Moonshine, I totally agree. Your school has a very old heating system that wastes too much energy, but there are loads of new technologies available now. Like solar panels, wind turbines, CHP units.
I've heard about all these technologies. They sound great, but is that the only way forward?
Dude, a well-designed school is equally, if not more important than these technologies. They should be designed so that they use as little energy as possible, but provide the best learning environment.
So how do you design a space like that?
Well, it should be super insulated so that very little heat escapes from the building. It should allow for high levels of natural daylight so there's a lower demand for electronic lights, but not too much in the summer so that the buildings overheat. The building should be naturally ventilated, therefore reducing the need for air conditioning units or other electronic ventilators. And because we don't know what the future holds for our schools, then they should be designed to be as flexible as possible.
Well, those ideas don't exactly sound futuristic.
They're not, dude!
Those solutions only reduce the demand on energy. What happens if fossil fuels run out completely?
Well, two things could happen. One scenario is if these technologies are developed so that they are 100% efficient. You could call this a high-tech school. The other scenario is for the school to use as little energy as possible, both through its building and the lives of the people who use it. This will be a low-tech school.
How would a low-tech school affect my life?
Students like you would have to help in creating all the energy needed for the school. This could range from growing your own food to creating energy in your PE lessons.
Interesting.
Energy consumption is a major issue right now. And it'll still be an issue in the future. I've gotta go now. Switch the lights off when you leave. Peace out, dude!
Why does my school feel so cut off from the community? I wonder how schools in the future will interact with their local area.
Hi, I'm Inspector Wolfgang. Let me show you why security is important. Adam, let's face facts. The world's not getting any safer. Schools have a duty to protect you, and in the future they may have to become even more cut off to make sure that you aren't in any danger.
Is that to make sure other people don't get in, or so that we don't get out? It sounds like a prison to me and looks awful. We need to break down these barriers and rebuild our trust with the community.
Well, how is that going to happen?
Maybe it could happen in two different ways. Schools could open their doors to members of the public using facilities at night, or even having people helping out with lessons.
So who would you want to see involved?
How about artists in art classes, entrepreneurs in business studies, or even grandma sitting in the corner of the nursery class, bringing a sense of calm? I think a lot of people in society want the opportunity to provide input in schools, but they're not allowed.
Okay, so what's the other option?
Well, rather than being stuck in one corner of society, why aren't schools infiltrating different sectors of their community, interacting with them and learning from them?
I understand. Like a symbiotic relationship.
What do you mean?
Different parts of the school could feed off different sectors of society and learn from them. For example, you could study business lessons in the financial district. Chemistry lessons could happen in the science park. Sport lessons could take place at the local sport center. This could reinvigorate the relationship between the school-age generation and other generations and could give a community more ownership over school.
I understand. So schools become knowledge-sucking, parasitical super machines that move across cities, maybe even country to country.
Whatever you say. I've got to be off now. Stay out of trouble.
This afternoon, we're learning about Confucius. One of his most famous sayings is, I hear, I forget. I see, I remember. I do, I understand.
It seems to be the opposite here. All we're hearing is how to pass exams.
Well, how would you teach this class then, Adam?
你好, Adam. I am Confucius.
Swell.
Do you see anything wrong with this picture?
Well, one of those students looks really interested, but the other one looks really bored.
Precisely. School of the future should offer all pupils the opportunity to learn by doing rather than simply listening. Classrooms are only set up to allow for a linear process of learning. They should be more dynamic and offer more opportunities to learn by doing. This would benefit both academic and non-academic students in the class.
That sounds super. I reckon I would be much more involved in lessons if they allowed for more experiential learning, but I'm not very good at tests. I think I'd still struggle with those.
Exams are a primitive way of gauging a person's ability. In the future, schools might scrap standardized testing and focus more on the development of useful skills in the individual.
So how would that change the learning spaces?
Classrooms become flexible studio workshops, where you can practice developing your skills rather than just listening to information.
Wow, that looks radical.
And maybe in the future, these vocational skills could become so popular that they even make money for the school.
It would be easy to get a job because my skills would be refined much earlier.
I'm off now. 再见.
Adam, stop daydreaming. Think about your future.
If only you knew.
That is all, folks.